All right, guys. I want to talk to you really quick about the sub-second draw. There's a lot of shooters, a lot of people who practice doing a very quick sub-second draw into engaging the target. Now, in my opinion, this is a great skill set to have, a great technique to develop. But there's one thing, in my opinion, that I'd like to address with you guys today. So many times we see people doing this on the range, and the idea of it is I do that sub-second draw and I'm engaging the target. You'll see people engaging the target from here at their hip, bang, 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 and pushing out into their shooting position without creating space backwards. There's a few things that I would like to address here, and the first thing and foremost is this. Most street fights that happen at this distance, usually with people yelling, pushing, shoving, and there's a build-up to when the actual fight takes place or the conflict takes place. So the first part of this is I cannot draw my gun and brandish my weapon without being under immediate threat. So if that's the case, right, at what point in time do they draw the gun to try to stop that life-threatening attack? If a life-threatening attack were to happen at this distance, do you really have the time to draw your pistol and engage the threat, right? In this case will be me, from this distance without you taking damage, again, because it's a life-threatening thing. If I'm going to go punch him in the face and I have no weapons in my hand, you're going to have a really hard time arguing that in court of that was a valid use of a firearm to draw your gun and your life was in danger when you have a gun and I don't, right? So we have to put it into context of when will we actually utilize that sub-second draw, okay? The next thing of this is, if it's dangerous enough to threaten your life, is it still dangerous enough that we shouldn't be focused on stopping the method of attack first? So what I like to teach when we do our combatives classes and our close proximity engagement classes, one for the legal standpoint, two for your own personal safety, is this. At this range, my recommendation to you to read the threat, to see what's happening, to justify the use of force, and to safely protect yourself from a life-threatening attack, you need to address my hands and my arms first and attack my face or neckline to stop me, right? And buy time and also space to where you can then utilize your sub-second draw. I don't believe that the sub-second draw should really take place in this proximity because of the threat it provides to the person who's drawing the gun. So we're going to show you a few examples of what we're talking about here. So Mike, let's go ahead and clear and save your gun. So there's no magazine in here. What we're going to do is we're going to take a zip tie. We're going to run it down the barrel. Okay? And we're going to shut the slide on the zip tie so that just the end of the zip tie is sticking out. So we can still utilize his actual concealed carry gun and the holster still works, but I know standing here that the gun is clear and safe and we have something running through the chamber down the barrel so that way there's no accidental discharges and I'm in a safe position. So real quick, I'm going to step out of the way. Mike's going to perform that sub-second draw real quick we were talking about. So go ahead and draw. Okay. Again, holster. Okay, one technique we can see here with this is we don't always have to cup the bottom of the shirt, right? There's a lot of people who are cupping the bottom of the shirt. That's not wrong. But from a combative self-defense standpoint, I could grab mid-shirt. By grabbing mid-shirt, right, I don't take my hand so far low, right? I can grab here and still clear the firearm. And now if I do it this way, not with my elbow out, but with my elbow across, now this protects my jawline. So I can bring this down a little bit. I can protect my throat and my jaw so I don't get my throat cut or get knocked out, right? So I can come here as I do my draw and reach into the position. Just more of a self-defense like tactic and technique in there if you want to practice that with that draw and start to build that muscle memory versus just coming here where my arms are like this and nothing's protecting my neck or my face. So again, I can come here, bring that elbow up, clearing the clothing over the pistol so that I can get the gun out. So now that's that sub-second draw technique from the impegnus position. So let's check this out. So we're going to run a drill. I'm going to do this with the pillow first. So here, I'm the bad guy. I'm standing here and we're arguing and we're getting each other's face like this and I'm instigating. And he can't see what the weapon is from behind my back. When he sees me try to hit him, he's going to, assume, let's just say this was a weapon attack, right? At this point, he doesn't know what I have behind my back. But when you see me move and try to engage you, you can go ahead and draw your pistol. Okay? So, okay? When you see me move and try to hit you, draw your pistol. Okay? So he can't, that sub-second attack, right? I'm doing this nicely with a pistol, right? And so he didn't get it, right? He didn't get it. So let's try one more time. So here, okay, I'm getting him mad. So now I'm going to try to see if he can really draw, right? So why this is important, at this proximity, I'm going to use a really big training blade so you can see it on camera, okay? So if I'm sitting here talking to him and we're arguing, and from this position, I just simply go here. I'm not even trying to hit hard because I don't want to whale him with this, right? But even from here, when I move my hands, my arms are in a very bad position. This isn't where I would start my fight from with my arms in a big butterfly position like this. They would be more relaxed. But even from this position, right, I'm still getting in. Now you can see with him bringing his arm up and protecting his jaw, like we were talking about, this actually stopped my hand. Now if I did it full speed, I might have been able to whack through there and still get a cut on his face. But that arm coming up like this protected his neck. Now do it where your arms are the other way, where people draw like this with their elbows out and their hands down. So again, we come here and I get to his neck, okay? So again, if we go to do this and I go a little faster, so try to get that draw, I'm here, maybe I'll do it from my pocket like this, and I go to draw and we go here, okay? I still get into that neck. Whoop. So we come in, again, I'm here, I'm talking, I draw, right? And even when I step out, so if he goes to punch that pistol out, I'm still offline and I'm still getting the attacks in, okay? This is why this is important. Let's say he doesn't go for his pistol. This is with him assuming my hands are coming over and I have a weapon in my hand, right? What if I do this and I go here to bitch smack him or sucker punch him and he draws and shoots me? And now we go to court and it's like I have no weapon on me and he just drew and shot me and my hands are free. Like, you're going to jail. You know what I mean? Like, you can't argue that your life was in danger. You're probably going to lose, right? Maybe you have a judge who sides with you, but most likely it's going to be hard to argue if you never identified any weapon in my hand, which at this range, it's very hard to identify a weapon, right? And beat the speed of me because you're reacting to my attack. I'm initiating the attack and you have to react to it, process the information, and get your draw, which is very, very hard to do. So now, instead of him going for his gun, let's see what happens if he actually went for my arms instead when he sees me go for the attack. So I'm standing here, I'm arguing with him, and I go to get the cut, and he gets his hands on and stops the actual attack. Now let's see here, let's say he takes that, and then he does, he attacks the arm, goes to my head, pushes me, whatever, to create space. So we're here, right? I go to attack, right? And now all of a sudden, when that comes here, it starts to push me back a little bit, okay? Now just watch your head on the stairs behind you. So you'll just take one step back. He would continue to take more steps, but if you go back too far, you're going to be out of frame, right? But his one step back would be continued with more steps. So let's do it one more time. After you push, that's when he's going to go for that sub-second draw. Once he has space and time and has identified the type of weapon that I'm trying to engage him with. So we're here, boom, I try to get that, and now that's where the sub-second draw comes in, right? The sub-second draw is a great piece of, not a piece, but the sub-second draw is a great technique to master, right? But the timing of when we utilize it needs to be when I create space and I've stopped the initial threat that was life-threatening at this proximity. So let's do that one more time. So I'll do it from my pocket, from here, right? Good? Yep, continue. So I'm gonna keep cutting. Okay. Good. So he cooked the space back. I came with the second step, or a second cut. When he steps back, he's out of the range of the knife. Granted, I could chase, right? So let's try one more, but put a push. Stop the blade, create space, not only by you moving backwards, but by pushing me back. Okay, so one more time, we'll come from here, from the pocket. Yep, better. So this is something we can continue to practice and develop those skills. So there's a lot of ways, obviously, we could work the actual self-defense. That's a whole nother conversation of the actual self-defense. But what our first thing needs to be in this is I have to stop the life-threatening attack on me. So in this, the main priority, first priority, is stopping the attack whichever way it's coming in. Okay? Stop the attack. Second thing is to take me out of my game by creating impact on my head and neckline. So you don't want me to just keep slicing at you. So I come in, boom, you stop, he hits. For after the hit, creating space, sub-second draw. Okay? So hope that helps. Something we can start working into our at-home dry fire training. Also some drills that we can work with a partner using a blue gun. You can challenge this with airsoft or simunitions. Again, if you're going to do that, make sure you wear the proper safety goggles so you don't poke each other's eyes out. And just understand that if you're shooting each other at this proximity with airsoft or sims, it's going to hurt. So maybe wear your like a heavy coat or something like that so you're not putting holes in each other, right? But it's a great technique to start practicing and then incorporating this into your combatives training. Okay, so hope that helps. We'll see you guys next week on our next video.